everybody, welcome back to my channel. So we're doing a really intense kind of glittery carnival look today. So if you want to know how I did that, keep on watching and I'll show you how I did my look. So first I'm just prepping the skin and I'm just spraying some of the Badescu Facial Spray with aloe and herbs just to freshen up the skin, and then I use some Ember Leaves moisturiser and just rub that in to protect my base. So I'm not going with the base, I've gone straight in with eyebrows and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil. So it's Brow Wiz actually in soft brown. And then I go in with Painterly Paint Pot from MAC and I'm using my Zoeva 142 Buffer Brush. That is a concealer buffer. Yes, it's a concealer brush. Concealer buffer, beg your pardon. 142 concealer buffer. Really like that brush, I use it for lots of different things. And then what I'm doing is I just set it with a little bit of soft peach. Is that soft peach? No, it's soft peach from the World Couture World Traveller palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It just makes it a lot easier when you set it with the powder, so it's to blend on top. Now I'm going in with the Urban Decay Cosmetics Ultimate Basics palette, and I'm using Extra Bitter as my transition colour. And I'm using a MAC 224 brush just to really blend that out. So it's a little bit firmer than a 117 brush. So 117 is a little bit more kind of, a little bit softer, I think, for more of a natural look. The 224 is a little bit firmer. Really good if you kind of want something quite fast to blend. And then I'm going with the Bobbi Brown, the Eye Smudge brush, just to use a little bit of the brown. And the brown I'm using, I've gone back to the Anastasia Beverly Hills World Traveller and I'm using Fudge. So I quite like the little smudge brush because it's quite good for product placement. But then I'm going back in with my 224 just to blend it into Extra Bitter. Now because I haven't put any foundation on, you don't have to worry too much about the edges. What I like about doing your foundation last is you can be quite quick with your eye makeup because you don't have to worry about it falling out, so you don't have to affect it too much. And again, you don't really have to worry too much about what you get on the lid because we're actually going to clean that up when we cut the crease. So there you can see I'm going in with a little bit of Painterly on a, that's a concealer brush from MAC, that is a 195, which is quite nice because it's a firm flat brush. It's really good for putting on concealer. But I'm actually using it obviously for Painterly. Then I'm going in with Urban Decay's Moondust liquid eyeshadow. What's it called? Yeah, liquid Moondust eyeshadow in Recharged as a base. So I'm putting that all over the lid. And then my glitter is actually an Inglot Pigment, Pure Pigment Eyeshadow 115, which is a really pretty like light peachy gold, like rose gold colour. Now for eyeliner. I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This is a little sample I was given at IMATS and I really love it. It's great, it's really good, it stays on really well, really precise point. I found it easy to use. Some of those ones I don't like, but because it actually has a little brush, there's lots of little fibres that form a little brush point, it's really good, easy to use. And then I just blended it out with the 224, and now I'm going back in with more glitter because it just wasn't glittery enough. So I'm actually using the Lit Cosmetics in Beach Baby No. 3 and a flat brush just to press it on, just because I really wanted this look to be super glittery, super festively. And now I'm applying some mascara. Because I'm wearing false eyelashes, you don't need to curl your eyelashes if you don't want to. But a really good coat of mascara. This is the Kiko one, the Unforgettable Lash. And then I'm using a damp beauty blender here. I'm pretty sure I'm using this either Custard from Nars, and actually I'm pretty sure it might be the. No, do you know what? I think it's actually Maybelline, the eye eraser. I'll double check. But you want like a full coverage concealer for this because you're also using it for a base. Because as you can see, I've gone in now that Bobbi Brown brush and I'm just smudging a little bit more fudge under my eye, and then I'll be blending it out with a little bit more of the Extra Bitter. Oh, and don't forget to tight line with a little bit of Smolder by MAC or any black Kohl of your choice, just to really intensify the eye look. Now here we go. I'm using a 2-3. Oh, I forgot the name of this brush already. It is a 2-3. Can't remember because it's rubbed off. 239, I think. I'll double check. But it's a little short fat brush just to smudge underneath it. Clean up with a beauty blender, get rid of any fallout. Right, so now I'm going to go into prime. So I'm not actually using a primer for this. I really want the skin to be really perfect. So I'm using the Nars Liquid Illuminator in Copacabana and some Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. to give it almost like a dewy, kind of pearlescent finish to the skin. So I'm putting that all over, and then I'm going in with Makeupforever Ultra HD foundation. The shade I'm using, if you want to know, is Y245, and I kind of do, what I love about the HD foundation is it's really quite thin and watery, which makes it super comfortable to wear, but I do feel like you need quite a lot of it for a really full coverage kind of look. So I go back in with a little bit more and a damp beauty blender and just blend it out. And I love a damp beauty blender for anything with a full coverage finish. I just feel like it just really pushes it into the skin, gives it a really nice finish. And then I've gone back in with a tiny little bit more of concealer there under the eye and around the brow, nose and lips, because that's where it moves the most on me. And one of my favourite little palettes of this year so far is the Makeupforever Pro Sculpting palette. So I'm going with contour. I actually like really using this Real Techniques setting brush because it's kind of got a slightly angled point to it. So I'm actually applying my cream contour with that, and just under the cheekbones, in the corners of the temples, and it's a great little brush because it blends as it goes, so it's really good. Oh, definitely under my jawline. I mean, I've got jowls, don't want any jowls, you know. I'm just blending it a little bit with Beauty Blender, and then I'm just going to set that whole face with some Studiofix powder. I'm using NC35 and a 187 buffer brush from MAC. Is it a buffer brush, a stipple brush, duo fibre brush? A really comfortable powder brush is what you need for something like this. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of bronzing with Bronzed from Urban Decay. I think that's from their summer collection last year, but I think it might still be available. I'm not too sure, but you can have a look. I'm UK based, so it would be urbandecaycosmetics.co.uk. Just blending that in again. Now, because you can have enough bronzer, I've gone in with the Charlotte Tilbury bronze from my face palette. Now, I really like this bronzer because it's slightly more browny. It's like a grey brown. I just like that, just to like finish it off. And then I'm just mixing the Swirl and Pop blushes together on my cheeks. Now I'm using a brush from MAC, and what's the brush called? It's a 137 brush, and I'm twisting that around in my Pink Glow from Bobbi Brown, getting a really good swish on the brush and spraying it with some Fix Plus. Oh, but just be careful not to drop it like I did. I dropped the whole lot on the floor. Luckily, my highlighter did not break. But just to recap, that was the Bobbi Brown highlighter, Pink Glow, and then I'm using a bit of MAC's Fix Plus just to spray on the brush. Now, this was a tip I learned from Mac Daddy, and I really like it. It's great for any kind of powder highlighter, just to give it a slightly more kind of glistening kind of finish. I'm just going on the tops of the cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, a little bit around the brow. And I just really like this highlighter. It's one of my favourites. I use it a lot. It's also nice as an inner corner highlight too. So now I'm using Media by MAC. It's just a really nice intense lipstick, and my general rule of thumb is if you're going to go heavy in the eyes, don't go heavy in the lips. So you could use a nude with this. Don't be afraid if you prefer to use a nude. It's a bit easier to maintain, but you know, I'm going all out on this. So Media it is, and then just using a little bit of burgundy lip pencil from MAC just to clean up those edges. And sorry about the palette being in the way. My camera was in the way of my big mirror, so I was using the mirror from that palette so I could see what I was doing, but kept forgetting that it's obstructing your view a little bit. So I've gone in with Smolder again from MAC just to go in the corners because I wanted it to have a little bit more of an ombre kind of look, a little bit dark in the edges, and then just again using Media just to soften it out and making the transition a little bit more seamless from light to dark. And then with a little bit of concealer, just tidying up the corners if you've kind of gone over the edge. So here we are with some Duraline from Inglot. I really like Duraline. Oh, be careful not to spill. So Duraline's a really great adhesive, as well as turning anything into a sort of liquid or waterproof liquid eye makeup. So I'm going back in with that Bobbi Brown smudger brush, and I'm just pulling down a little bit of the colour. I was actually using a little bit of Lethal and Blackjack, I think, from the Ultimate Naked Basics palette from Urban Decay, just to give a little bit of the base where the glitter was going, and to give it a little bit more of that kind of old 20s, 30s carnival look. So back in with Inglot Duraline on a flat brush. I think it's a 242 or 242 from MAC. It's a flat one. So pressing the Duraline all over. I just find Duraline really comfortable. And then using the Circus Clown Glitter from Dust and Dance. So definitely check it out. These little pots are £3.50, and they've got really good selection of glitters, guys. So I couldn't recommend them enough. But yeah, I like using Duraline for those because I find Duraline really comfortable to wear amongst other things. It's hypoallergenic and it is easy to come off. You could always use Vaseline. I don't really find Vaseline that comfortable, as well as some clear eyelash glue, but again, I don't find that comfortable to wear. It just feels really tight. However, the eyelash glue is actually easy to kind of pull it all off and clean, wash your face afterwards. But no, the Duraline works really, really well. You just have to work with it quite quickly. It is supposed to be, you know, it's actually really, really good for reviving your kind of gel eyeliners and cream eyeshadows, because it makes a waterproof liquid. Whatever you add it to, it creates a waterproof liquid kind of solution, so it's really good for those. But it's a great all-rounder. I think everyone should have it in their kit or their makeup collection if they use those kind of things. So yeah, what I'm doing is pressing the glitter sort of all over the under eye and above the eye, as you can see, and over the brow, just to give it a really intense glittery kind of look. And in the sort of the middle of the bottoms and the tops, I've gone back in with Lit Cosmetics Beach Baby No. 3, which is a real kind of fine gold glitter, just kind of almost adding like extra highlight points, because that's really, really fine, so it contrasts with the big glitter. Then you want to tidy up with some more mascara, just to kind of sharpen the edges a little bit. And if you have any glitter that's fallen down on the lashes like me, you just want to kind of pick it off, so it just gives you a better look overall. That's pretty much the look, really. It's just a really, really fun festival, carnival kind of look. It's quite theatrical. You could, if you ever wanted like a really intense look, this is kind of a great look if you like glitter. So I really hope you enjoy it, guys, and I will see you on the next video.